Today, I'm diving into making a traditional tomato jalapeno salsa. My name is Marletta, and on this channel, I'll show you how to use hot peppers to enhance and not overpower the dishes that you make. Now, this salsa will be ready in just a couple of minutes, so let's not waste any time and get started. For this recipe, I'm using 4 Roma tomatoes, 2 jalapeno peppers, 1/2 of a red onion, which is about a half a cup, the juice of 2 limes, and 4 to 6 cloves of garlic. I'm also using a can. This is a 28-ounce can of peeled whole tomatoes. And then for the spices, I'm using 1 teaspoon of ground cumin, 1/2 teaspoon of chili powder. Now, if you followed my channel at all, you'll know that I am a huge fan of this Trader Joe's chili lime powder. You can get this on Amazon, and I'll put a link in the description. If you don't have it, just use chili powder, that's fine. And then you want about 1/2 teaspoon of salt and 1/4 teaspoon of ground pepper. And then last but not least, and I call this my secret ingredient, 2 teaspoons of sugar, and it just brightens everything up. So let's get started preparing our vegetables. Now, the first thing I want to do is I'm going to cut my Roma tomatoes. Just cut the ends off of these. You don't need those. And I'm just going to cut them in half. They don't have to be diced at this point. Oh, you're also going to need a bunch of cilantro. One bunch is just about plenty. This is garbage. And then I'm going to put my gloves on here because I don't like handling jalapeno peppers without gloves. If you happen to touch your eyes or your face, the capsaicin from the peppers is just going to burn like crazy, make your eyes water. Ask me how I know. I have this cool little handy dandy jalapeno corer, and this thing is just super great to use to get most of the seeds and stuff out of the jalapeno. You just put that in there and twist it, and all that stuff comes right out. This is great if you're making jalapeno poppers and you're going to stuff these things. Now, I leave a few of the seeds in there, and I am just going to cut this in half. And these are pretty big jalapenos, so I'm just going to slice them in thirds. And then the onion, just cut it up into a couple of big chunks. The lime I will cut in half, and we will use these a little bit later. Need to get a different knife for the garlic. And the garlic, you don't even have to dice this. Just give it a good smash, and that is really all you have to do. And then, of course, the cilantro. I want to just make sure that you've rinsed your cilantro. And all we're going to do is basically just use the leaves from them. And you can just take your knife and drag it along the stems, and most of the leaves will come right off. And that's really all you have to do with the cilantro. Now, I'm going to move over to the food processor, and we will get started with getting all this stuff mixed together. So all I'm going to do at this point is I'm going to drain some of the juice, most of the juice out of these tomatoes, and just plop these in here. These are really little tomatoes. I don't know how they get them ripe when they're so small. You know, the nice thing about salsa is you can make this as thick and chunky or as watery as you like. We like our salsa a little bit more on the chunky side. I'm just going to set that in the sink. And I'm just going to give this a couple of pulses to get it kind of chunked up a little bit. And next, I'm going to add all the tomatoes and throw the garlic in there. We'll put all our onions in. And then I'm going to put in all of the seasoning. Then I'm going to add the juice of the limes. I don't have one of those fancy dandy citrus juicers, so I just use this reamer. I've had this thing for years. I'm not even sure where I got it. But those citrus juicers for lemon and lime, you can get those readily in the grocery store in the produce department. Put the lid back on this. and give it a couple more pulses. Oh, wow, that looks absolutely delicious. Well, there you have it. So now for the taste test. Wow, that is really good. It's got just the right amount of heat. The limes just kind of brighten everything up. The spices are great in this. It's really good. I like serving it with these scoopable chips. Of course, you can serve it with anything. It's this salsa. I actually made this the other day, and we put it on top of burritos, and it was really, really good. It'll last for, if it stays that long, it'll last for a couple 3 days in the refrigerator. Keep it in an airtight container. Let me know in the comments what kind of things that you like to add in your. So that's all for today. Stick around for the next time. I will put a link to the recipe in the description. And if you enjoyed this video, I would hope you give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel for more yummy tasting recipes. See you next time. Bye-bye.